Welcome back, you sexy, cute, amazing, magnificent, articulate, phenomenal,
Are you done? Jesus
spru
Christ.
spruceful
Oh my God.
anime lovers.
This is
We are
fucking
back.
obnoxious. I'm sorry, guys. You had to deal
We
with that.
are back with
Yeah.
what are we back with? Special,
Good Lord. Now he's answering his own questions, ladies and
special
gentlemen.
episode because I know you weren't gonna say special.
I
That's why I
definitely
answered
wasn't.
it.
No,
That's
because
why
it's
I
just a
answered it.
normal episode like we do
It's
every
not normal.
week or every few
Special.
weeks, apparently.
It's
Fucking
special.
shit, man.
We got Fire Force episodes 9 through 16, season 2. Let's get it.
Jesus. All the excitement. All right.
Let's get it.
It is, I mean, it's a good show, man.
This is a
It's
show that packs a lot of shit
Jesus,
in
once
a
again.
small
So I said it I said it the
in
last
the
time,
last episode.
and
Yeah,
I'll say it again. Every
or the
time
last
I
Fire Force
watch an
episode.
episode, it feels like I got an hour's worth of content and 20
Yeah, it really
minutes.
does.
They fucking
It
jammed
really
that
does.
shit in there.
I don't know how they do it.
Fuck, man.
I'm
You
still
know?
like I was watching towards the end. I was just watching to see, okay, how are they fitting so much shit?
Dude, I would like to rewatch it and think about that
Yeah,
because it
just fully think
definitely
about it.
yeah, it definitely like watch it under that perspective. You know what I mean? Where I'm
Right.
like, how are they doing this? Because when you think about it, it's like you need time to explain things.
And we always say, yo, this episode should have been longer. This
Yep.
episode should have been
Yep.
longer on different anime after different anime after different anime. Then
Yep.
you get to Fire Force and you're like, holy shit, should this have
Just
been shorter?
throwing
Should this have been shorter?
just throwing
Wake up,
shit.
man. You
Just
already
throwing
yawning?
shit. Yeah, I know, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
Damn.
But yeah, they just throw shit in. They just pile. They just
They're
fucking
just
pile.
just
Just,
fucking just stacking. Just
you
it's like
know?
fucking Jenga, you
Dude,
know?
seriously, like they just throw it all in there, which I appreciate. Like, it's just such a good show, but it makes you wonder, like, it's been what, maybe 5 years, and that's just off the top of my head since the last season came out.
That's wild that it's
Like,
been that long.
part of me
Considering how good
is
it
like
was.
they should be getting seasons out quicker, which they are starting to do more with newer animes. But
Uh,
the other part of me is like, I get why you would need a break from this because that is a lot of shit going
a
on.
lot.
So much shit going on.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't skimp on the action either.
No.
Like we saw how many fucking fights in this set of 8 episodes?
A shit ton.
Like
And a shit ton of different
it had to be
characters,
over 10, right?
shit ton of different abilities.
Yo, they do such a good job in this stretch of 8, you get to see so many different powers. Like, would
Yeah.
you have thought when you were thinking like Fire Force and once you kind of understand what it is and how the power system works, would you expect this many different uses of fire?
No, I wouldn't have expected it, but as you start to watch it, and by the time you get to season 2, you
Where we're
realize
at.
everyone's unique, right? Like
Yeah,
everyone has a different way of using fire, which I think is amazing, right?
right. And
That it's something that's very underestimated.
that's what I'm saying. It's just like especially in this stretch of 8 with all the different fighting,
Everyone, every single
like
person.
everybody's using a different style of firefighting.
It's dope.
And it's fucking so dope because I never would have
It's fucking
dreamed
dope.
of that many ways to control fire. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
We've
I could
never
sit here for a week and make a list of different ways I could think we could have a power with fire, and I wouldn't come up with half of
and
what
then to
they're
come up with
using.
the generations, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, the
Like
second gen, third gen, the storyline part of it, and
first gen.
even this one, like we saw, you start to really see it in the first 8 episodes here in the second season, but even in this one, you see it again, where the dynamic is so interesting. It's not necessarily that it's good or bad, just more so interesting because you have the Ironclad, where you have like Sharon who comes in and defends Shinra, where he's like, "Oh, you saved me," and he's like, "Yeah, man, I gotta protect the pillars." So they're fighting the Ironclad. They're fighting the White Clad.
I was like ironclad.
Yeah, Ironclad
I didn't
is
want to cut you. I
it's
thought
an
you were gonna get to something.
no, it's an SA. Yeah, I appreciate you. It's an SAO reference. I apologize.
Yeah.
But the White Clad They are trying to get they're trying to get the kid.
Which is the white clad the evangelist?
Yes. Yes,
That's the same group. Okay, because
they're the
they kept
followers.
using both, and I'm like, are they slightly different? Like, is the evangelist like from that other dimension, and then only the white clad are them? But I was like, oh, I think they're the same.
So I think the evangelist is the actual God,
Okay,
and then the white clad are his followers.
okay. Are you
Kind of
sure
like how
about
you
that?
have. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to watch it
Okay.
through again. The problem is we've been taking so many
Yeah, we
breaks and
take
stuff,
breaks.
so I
Yeah.
forget. But I'm pretty sure. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 9.
Okay.
But
I
I
don't know. I
know,
just
yeah,
because they always reference like, what are the evangelists up to? And that's prefer like multiple people. You know what I mean?
right. And they could mean it in the terms of like just the people who follow the God, since they don't want to always call them the white clad. But I could be wrong too, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but like, so they're trying to protect the pillars.
Right.
They're all trying to get,
Or
and
gather pillars. Right.
yeah, they're trying to gather the pillars, and then they're all still trying to get the little kid Hijima, fucking the Fire Force, along with the White Clad. Like that dynamic between them all, like they're randomly teaming up to fight the White Clad, and the White Clad's teaming up with Fire Force over here in this fight to go fight
Mhm.
the freaking Eternal or the Demon or whatever it was. Like the
So
dynamics
then
that they do in the writing
I
between the
was gonna say.
characters is phenomenal. It's so good.
Right. Yeah, no, and again, I mean, just kind of retouching quickly on the variety of Fire Force abilities. Fucking dope because they lead off with Ogun, the black dude.
Dude, Flame Ink
And
is fucking dope.
I wish I had they did have displays with him on one
Oh,
back
did
when they
they?
had all the fucking shits. And I'm
Shoot.
like, dude, I fucking wish I had him because he's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dude, it
and the impact
sucks.
he had
Display, if
going
you
up
guys are
against
watching right now, please pay whatever you need to pay to get all that licensing back. All right.
I
I don't
know,
care what
man.
you have to
Holy
charge, but that
shit.
shit, like your collection now is fine. I enjoy it, but it was so many more
Holy
options before.
shit.
I could truly customize
Hundreds.
this wall if I wanted to.
You would have already filled the wall
Yeah.
if they had
I
those
apologize
options.
for interrupting. You may continue.
Yeah, no, just kind of them leading off with Ogun being in in that fight against that caliber of a demon, right?
Yeah, where
Like
he's like, "I got
this is
this."
the
Fucking
only person we've seen beat a demon like that was Benimaru
Benimaru, yeah.
and
And his lieutenant, dude.
his lieutenant, but
Yeah.
that was from a even
And
past.
even then, he got Tefrosis from it,
Right,
from the fight. You know what I
right,
mean? Like,
right. So for Ogun to last as long as he did, was
well
phenomenal and a dope watch.
and then,
Just want
they
to give credit to
reveal
that.
that, what is it? Amaterasu? Amaterasu.
Nope.
Arteminium.
Amaterasu.
Yeah, Arteminium.
Okay.
So,
Itachi Uchiha's
what should I
ability.
call it? Because I'm not gonna be able to say it. Say it one more time for me.
Amaterasu.
Amaterasu. All
Yeah.
right. So the big place that generates the I already forgot. The big place that generates the freaking energy for everybody and the
Eternal
heat and
flame.
the eternal flame. They have that thing where you finally realize that that's an Andola burst powering that.
Right. And you realize that within the Adola link, right? Because for once, Shinra linked with Adola and it was a good thing, right? Like he
Yeah.
was talking to that one black bitch
Yep.
in the shadow,
Yeah.
the
See, so
Amaterasu
here's the
in the
thing. So
tabernacle.
here's the interesting thing. So when he and I'm interested to see if you thought about this at all. So when he links up with her and he goes down into the separate world when he goes into their dimension,
Yeah.
remember he was like, "Oh, this kind of feels warm and like comforting and stuff like that." Did you think about how they did it? Like, I think about how they did a good job of they didn't
Connecting
change.
it.
Well, they didn't change anything. So when the evangelist, when he was fighting, when he went down with the evangelist, right?
Uh-huh.
The world looked exactly the same, and so you would assume that everybody from that world is dark because it's a dark world, lacks color, this and that. I actually like that when
Kinda
he
do.
linked with the new one, that he didn't that like they didn't change it up because to make it seem like she was a good person from that world, they could have added color, they could have done a lot of different things visually. But instead, they're like, no, this is the world. And just because they come from the shit world that looks like a dark place doesn't mean every single person who comes from here is dark.
Well, and you got to think too. The reference I always see with the amaterasu is
There you go.
the Naruto universe where Itachi uses the amaterasu and it's a black flame that never burns out.
Yeah.
Right? So obviously there's some Japanese folklore there where it links what Amaterasu means and the religion
Right.
sense and all that other shit. But it does make sense that anything within Adola, because they're creating these Amaterasus through a tabernacle, all are black, right?
Yeah.
Everything's black within it. So I didn't really see too much in it, and that I always assumed
Gotcha.
because of Naruto that everything in that dimension was going to be
Gotcha.
black flame, black
That
everything,
makes
you know.
sense. Yeah, it's just like it's interesting to think about when people make those choices. It's not something I ever could truly like wrap my head around. I just don't have that gift of creativity like that. You know what I mean? Like, I bet when
Yeah,
you
I don't
talk to
know.
those people, they're fucking like,
They're everywhere.
you know what I mean? Like,
Just
they're
like absurdly creative, like
yeah,
annoyingly creative.
yeah, like, hey man, we're eating dinner. What are you staring at? Can you stop staring at me? No, there's a
Right,
butterfly right above your left shoulder,
right. And they
and I'm
just thought of a
watching it
new
flutter.
character
Yeah,
to
it's like, what the fuck,
well,
man?
and the underlying moral compass in anime is insanely intelligent.
I
You know what I
enjoy that.
mean? Like
Yeah.
the different dynamics of life that they bring forth are
Hmm.
insane. And
Yeah, I
and
agree.
like even in this show where you see Victor finally coming forward, and saying, "I'm a spy, guys,"
Yeah, and
and
then be
they're like,
like,
Obi's like, "Yeah, we know."
yo, real quick, I apologize for interrupting you. Victor got the hands on him though. Victor
Yeah,
got the hands
he's like,
on him.
"Sorry, just couldn't let a nerd beat me.
He's like, "Hey
Just
man,
couldn't let
sorry,
another
just
nerd beat me."
couldn't let a nerd get me." You know what I mean? Like he fucking
He
dude
said,
stepped up. He's like, "Hey motherfucker, what you doing?" He said, "Nope,
"Yeah,
dropping you. That's what I'm doing. Say something, little nigga."
little nerdy ass nigga."
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, am I one of you guys now? Fire Force 8? Yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
no, but they immediately accepted him when he came out as a spy, which, in anime it's hit or miss, but you don't really see that often
right,
where the spy's just accepted off rip.
right,
And of course, they bring in that comedy aspect to Obi, which I think Obi is like the underlying comedy king in this shit.
yeah.
Anytime I see him,
I
I just
fucking love
laugh,
Obi.
bruh.
I fucking love
I
Obi.
laugh. Like he'll pop up when someone's about to get punched and like just tank the punch and
Yep.
shit. It's like I laugh at it. I don't even know what it's not even a
Yeah.
funny scene, but
Yeah, you can see Lit run too. He run.
yeah. Yeah, well, and again, I think this was in the previous episodes, but when he was trying to use the gun
Oh
and it was like a
yeah.
video game and he's old, so he's like
Yep.
getting nervous and shit.
Right. But
It's
yeah,
like
it's just
Obi's
crazy because
awesome.
even what'd you think about seeing Joker again?
I thought it was long overdue, to be honest.
Joker's a fucking dude.
Yeah, and it was cool to see his background finally.
Yeah.
So you're always curious to see who's this guy, why is he doing what he does, and to find out the way you find out is fucking hilarious and wild and on point.
Yeah, and
And I
you
think you know by
march him.
wild what I'm talking about.
Yep, sure is. Sure is.
Because when he was butt naked, strapped up into
Yep.
that fucking thing, and that motherfucker grabbed him and went, and I'm about to fucking do I'm about to rock your world.
Yep.
It was like,
The
"Oh,
fuck?
what does that mean? Where did that come from? Why?
Whoa. Yeah, that didn't seem
We
necessary at
were
all,
doing
man.
fine." He
Yeah.
was whipping him.
Yeah, we were good here, man. I think that might have been enough. Tell you, that get me to talk real quick though.
"Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
Wait,
something."
wait, 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 wait.
Wait, wait,
Let me tell you something.
wait. Absolutely not.
Oh, and then we got Captain
Absolutely
Barnes. We can see a
not.
little bit of Captain Barnes in there.
No, yeah, Burns.
Burns, Captain
Barnes.
Burns. Jesus, I can't get
Shit,
names
are you
right
alright?
today. Dude, I don't know.
I was like, Barnes,
I don't
Barney?
know.
Barn
I don't know how we got to Barnes, man.
Yeah,
Captain
no, but
Burns.
even before that, when, Benimaru showed
I
back
was gonna
up. We
say
hadn't seen
I was literally
Benimaru in a
about to
minute.
I was gonna get to that because I was like, we might talk about Benny Maru for the full hour, dude.
Dude,
Nigga's a dude.
and he's so fucking funny. It's
Oh, he's
so
fantastic.
fucking funny. And even when Burns, like you mentioned, Burns popped up and he was like, "Oh, let's get it." And then
Yep.
he's like, "Fine, let's get it." And then he sees Benimaru there and he's like, "No, I didn't want to fight you." He's like, "Oh, so you don't want to fight me now that you see
Yep.
Benimaru's here."
Yep.
Benimaru's the fucking dude.
I don't blame him. That calmed me down real quick. Dude,
Benimaru's the
story time,
dude.
guys. I was once in a bar fight and we get tossed out of the bar and we're still getting real rowdy. And a bouncer walks out. He's probably 6'4", 6'5", 280 pounds, pure muscle. And he's like, "Oh, if you guys want to fight, you could fight me." Guys, I have never calmed down quicker in my life. I have never gotten silent. I was
Heard
like, "Nah,
that.
man, we're good." I was just, you know,
Calm down, Shaq. We're good.
I was heading this way actually. As a matter of fact, I know it looked like I was walking this way, but I've just been working on my backward walk. Like it's whatever, dude. But Benny
Yeah,
Maru has
Benimaru
that effect
was
on
that
people,
bouncer.
and he would
Yeah.
definitely have that effect on me. Hard
Yeah,
pass.
and
I don't want those problems.
I mean, he was showing it throughout that entire fucking,
Yeah. A-
um,
And I mean,
raid that they
but it's
had.
again, I'll come back to how do we even fucking how do writers think of this shit? Like the XOIs that he has?
Yeah,
I would have never in a million years.
signifying each generation.
Yeah, I would have never in a million years been like, "That's cold. That's a great idea." If you were drawing a comic book and you were like, "I'm gonna give one XOIs," I'd be like, "You're fucking corny, dude."
He kinda gives me that Togame look, you know what I mean? Like,
Ah, you're moving
just
too
like that laid
fast,
back,
man.
like, he's laid back, but he's dope.
Yeah. God, he's a fucking powerhouse.
He's a problem.
I appreciate it because when he showed up there, everyone's like, "It's Benny Maru. He's come."
Well, and again, I mean, he even shouts out those things that he was teaching Shinra, like the symbols,
Mhm.
like his repertoire is impressive.
Yeah.
Like they do an amazing job of not only showcasing his just natural ability, but his
Mhm.
intelligence and how he moves and what type of moves. It's fucking sick.
Yeah. Now, fucking back to the original thing, the amaterasu. Did I say it right?
Yeah, Amaterasu. Yeah,
Hey, I might even put in some applause here for me getting that right. Um,
don't do that.
at any point before now, did you think that there was like an actual person in a Dolaverse?
No, that
Me
was out of
neither.
left field, and I had actually forgotten that too. Because I was telling you, sometimes when we go back, I'm like, "When did I fucking hear this shit?"
Yeah.
And when I heard this second time watching it through, I was like, "What?" I was like, "I missed that there's a fucking sacrifice, a human sacrifice as the eternal flame,
Yeah.
and that's what the pillars are, and that's why they're collecting them because they're trying to create 10 different Amaterasus and burn the entire fucking
See,
world down." It's like,
that's what I was
"What?"
trying to figure out. And I mean, we'll get
That's
into
what
it.
I think.
Yeah, and so we'll get into it more when we get into the final of this season
Yeah, the
because
final 8.
I don't remember exactly what happens in the
This is
final
just
8,
9 through 6, guys,
9 through
as a
16.
reminder.
Yeah.
Or yeah, 9
Yeah,
through
I got
16.
you. But it's like I was like the one thing I was curious about is, he talked about the 8 pillars being there. He's like, "Oh, the 8 arrows, I think they were." He's like, "Yeah, it signifies the 8
Into each
pillars."
pillars.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, "So, do they have
They
to
look like
sacrifice?"
keys.
I was like, "Do they have to sacrifice 8 Adola bursts? Because we already
Yeah.
know we need
That's
8
what I would
pillars.
assume.
But do they have to sacrifice all 8 to do 1
Cataclysm?
to do 1 Amaterasu?
No.
Or I don't think they explained it though, did they?
No. Yeah, no, well,
I know there's 1 in there, but that
so
person's from
that
Adola.
girl, right. So that girl that you saw was supposed to be the first pillar, which she was in the Amaterasu already, or
Right.
like acting
So
as the current.
and
So
granted,
it only takes one
neither of us know, this is all just kinda theory at this point. But it's like, did they? Because maybe there's a
opinion, more
ritual.
so.
The way I think of it is maybe there's a ritual, and I don't know if any of this is true, this is just thoughts. So this isn't even me
Yeah,
saying this is
you're
my theory.
just yeah, you're this is what you're thinking.
Right, and so I was like, what if it's like the sacrifice ritual has to be 8 Adolabers, like 8 people who have Adolabers, they have to get sacrificed
Straight one?
to bring somebody up from Adola to
I don't know
create the
about that.
Amaterasu.
I don't think so there.
But
I think that's a reach.
it could be a reach, it could be dead wrong.
No, I
Fuck
just
if
think
I
it's
know.
like making
Yeah, you're
like
thinking
one
one
person
person
could
makes each one.
amaterasu,
Yeah.
and that when you combine all of them into one, it can create that great cataclysm is what they keep using the word
Yeah. Yeah.
cataclysm.
Because they wanna
And
destroy the world, which
right, and they brought up
doesn't
that
make
one
sense.
dude, Raffles the First, and,
Yeah.
like, it being the religion thing. What do you think about the
The
whole,
great
like,
soul.
religion and, like,
I actually
them like, people questioning it and people following it?
I actually thought about this when I was watching it. I hadn't even the first I've watched the show, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 times through. Never once have I thought about, like, my thoughts on the religion aspect of it. This time around, I did. So, I watched through, I think it was the episode 8 or 9 where they're talking about the religion part of it, and as I was watching it, I was like, "This is kind of an interesting angle to play." Because there's so much you can do with it, and it actually I think the way they're handling it in the internal storyline is absolutely perfect. Because you have this religion that's in their society is universally their religion. Then you have like Benimaru, who doesn't follow the religion and questions the religion's teaching. Then you have Vic.
Joker,
Then you have Joker, who's doing the same thing. You have
who was
Victor, who
born
wants to
in
find the
it,
truth.
right?
Right.
Joker was born in or
And
an
so
orphan
I
in it.
actually think this follows the way religion works, especially when it's like something like this, when it's starting to branch off into newer things and people are starting to believe other things.
Right, well,
I
and then you
really
get the
like the idea.
diary of Raffles the First's wife, who was like,
Hmm.
"This is a different person." Then you get Betty Maru saying, "Yeah, I saw that in my it was like linking everything,
Yep.
and it started through that religion. So that I mean, I thought it was
The
dope.
new season's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. I really hope they don't break it up. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much about it other than that there's a new animation studio.
Right. Yo, did you like seeing Rekka again?
Yes, my stars. That shit never gets old.
Dude.
That shit never gets old. And when they were explaining shit, I don't know if you heard, it was like towards the end of them referencing Rekka,
Mhm.
but you could hear hints of him in the background still saying, "My stars, yes,
Oh, no.
my this, my that," and they
No, I
they were
didn't
going
pick
on a
up on that.
monologue. I forgot exactly which specific
Oh,
part it was from,
right.
but it was. I'm assuming it was when Homeboy was like going into deep thought again. The little
Yeah,
kid,
yeah.
Nataku, and you could just hear him in the background, subtle, very subtle. Yeah, my stars. You know you what you could do. You're gonna be the best, or you can do it. I'm gonna be here with you. And it was very faint.
I
I was
don't
like, you
remember
guys
that
are
at all.
fucking like I was laughing my ass off because you could
I'm
hear him in
so
the
upset I
background.
missed that. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
But, like, Jesus Christ, that kid fucking did you feel bad for him?
PTSD,
Holy
man.
shit, I was this is awesome that you guys are doing this big fight, but this is kind of fucked.
Yeah,
I was like, this kid is having PTSD from a like bad PTSD from a fucking ordeal he went through after being experimented on as well. And he's finally hit his breaking point. And everybody's coming to get him now, too. Like,
right.
this is fucked. This whole
then you
situation
have
is fucked.
then you have the weird, creepy, weak dude who likes
Oh,
whooping on
Reaper?
weak dudes. Yeah.
Reaper, who's like,
He,
who,
like, gets turned on by
yeah, by
weak
fighting
kids.
weaker opponents. Like, that's what a fucking weird.
Well, and I love Shinra called him fucking he's like, "You fucking creep," or some shit when he
Yeah.
was started
Are you
fighting
my
him. He's
boss?
like, "I'm gonna
Are you
fuck
my
you up,
boss?
you fucking
Are you my
creepy
boss?
ass." Shit was fucking funny, man.
Well, even they tried to stop him from continuing to fight Shinra and
Right.
he was like, "No, this
He said,
weakling's
"Fuck it."
mine."
Right.
But
Kept blowing out his black smoke.
that shit's dope too. His fucking power,
Yeah. Very
just
dope.
fucking all the black smoke, and then he could sense like feel people moving around in the black smoke too, couldn't he?
And he could burn people from the inside out by them just inhaling his black smoke.
That's fucking wild. I guess like I was gonna
Some
say it's
fucking
over.
broken ass abilities.
So I was gonna say that, but I was like, I mean, situations kind of got to be right because if you're fighting outside, it would be harder, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, if you're a higher level fighter, you can know and not inhale it and shit
Right.
like that. So
Just
I
figure
mean,
something out. Yeah.
right, like he only killed off like nobodies. You know what I mean, with the black smoke straight up.
Right, man, but like it's funny because Fire Force does a lot of they don't break the wall, but they do a really good job. I'm a big fan in animes when they recognize when something's weird and kind of not necessarily talk to the audience, but they talk to the character. And so when he was like doing that, he's like, "What are you, a fucking weirdo?" And even when he does that, and honestly, I forgot my point.
Yeah, I was like, where
I
you
was
going
going
with
on a
this?
run. I had a point and I can't remember it. I'm sorry, guys. You deserve better.
Jesus.
I got
He just started talking.
I started
Um,
going and I knew exactly where I wanted to land, but couldn't get there.
no, and I think them bringing back benimaru, because I was always waiting for him to come back, and like in what way. And again, we had the funny moment earlier in the first 8 episodes of this season where they were like,
They're
why
trying to
didn't you
sneak
invite the niggas
uh,
from the seventh?
yeah.
And he's like, I did,
You
and they
think I
don't
didn't
answer.
you think I wouldn't have called the fucking strongest person in the fucking fire force? Are you kidding me?
Right. So, to see him finally come back, and then the way he came back, I thought they did a really good job of writing it in regards to like Joker needing him,
Yeah.
because he was like, you're the one dude. I'm like, I don't need Shinra. I don't need an Adola burst to come
I
do what
need
I
this
get. I
nigga.
need this motherfucker.
I need this nigga.
And,
Yeah. It's the right
you know,
choice, by the way. Throw that out
right.
there.
I was very, very shocked to not only see Burns there, but also to know that Burns helped raise fucking
Joker.
Joker.
Yeah, and did
I was
the
like, "What?"
and they had the Adola link as well.
Yeah, they were, yeah, at the same time they had that link. It
Yeah,
was
which
like,
is why their
"What?"
eyes are fucked.
Well, and to even see finally what happened for that Adola link was dope, because I was always curious to see like what actually had happened when Burns lost his eye.
Right.
To get it doubled down with Joker in there as well was
Oh, so
fucking
good.
awesome.
It's
And
so
they also
good.
brought back that rock, that eternal flame that's still smoking. And I'm like, there, that shit's got to play a role.
Yep.
It's like, you know, eh, they're doing a great job of still keeping enough unknowns.
Yeah. God, it's just
It's
like
like getting there.
yeah, it's like once again I'm watching this and we're only watching the 8 at a time. And I just it's just so easy to get back into once you get going on it. You know what I mean? Like it's so
It's a good watch.
yeah, it's so often forgot about because it's just 2
I'm so shocked.
seasons.
I'm
It
so shocked.
hasn't come out like
How is it not bigger?
quickly. You know what I mean? But that's like exactly what I'm saying. Like how is it not like
Is
how is
Fire
this
Force
not
the most underrated anime?
it's possible. It's very possible that it is one of the most underrated animes. I think the problem is that there's so many good fucking animes out there that people don't talk about.
And new ones now that are coming out, because I mean,
God,
but
they're
think
so
about it. Like,
good.
I think Fire Force is on that like Kaiju number 8 level,
In what way?
in that it's like just the general consensus of it. Like, it's a solid anime. It's got
Mhm.
some goofy aspects to it, and it's got some serious aspects to it. It's got enough unknowns to keep you curious.
Okay, I see
Got
what you're
enough
saying. Yeah,
characters.
I'd agree with
Got
that.
enough different abilities. Um, I mean, you'd argue Fire Force is better at that, but that's picking fucking
Right, and we have a little bit more Fire
right,
Force as well.
right.
So, it's
So
bigger
anyway,
sample size.
but I still think I would argue that Kaiju number 8 is seen as a bigger anime than Fire Force, like in regards to
See,
popularity.
and I would say that too, but it also I would
I
agree
could
with
be
you,
wrong. I have no
but
stats.
well, yeah, we don't check shit. All feeling, no
Imagine we look at the
fact.
numbers. It's like astronomically, Fire
Right.
Force is more
Well,
popular.
what I was gonna say is I feel that way too, but we might just be buying into to recency bias because Kaiju number 8 had just came
Came out
out.
recent,
Yeah,
but that's the
and
point.
Fire
That's my
Force has been
argument.
out
Is that
for a
it's
long
like,
time. So maybe just because it's more recent and you weren't like super
but
watching animes when Fire Force
even
came out.
JJK's recent compared to Fire Force, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
And no one's debating that, right?
No. No.
Everyone knows JJK is more popular than fucking Fire Force. Like,
As it should. Through 2 seasons it's better, you know?
yeah,
Call a spade, dude.
and it's hard to beat. season 2 of Fire Force, and
Yeah, it
JJK
really
blew that
is.
shit out the water.
Yeah, they did. They sure as fuck did, dude.
Uh, but that's the point is that it's like some of these newer animes, it's like, yeah, they're getting a lot of respect. Would they have gotten that same respect? Obviously, JJK would have, but an anime like Kaiju number 8, had it came out in the same time that Fire Force came out, or would it have been in that same kind of niche
Yeah.
group, you know,
Well, I know the good thing about the new
like a
season
Hell's
coming
Paradise.
out in a few months here, I think it comes out in April. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty
I'm gonna
sure
hold
it
you
comes
to it.
out. All right, hold me to it. I'm pretty sure it comes out in April. And the good thing about it coming out and it having been away for so long is that now we can really see how it kind of how one of the older animes coming back kind of stacks up to the newer stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and to see how they revamp it again. I mean, usually they're only revamping or like switching anime studios on older animes coming back, like Thousand Year Blood War type shit.
Right.
But
Which makes sense because it
um,
had been out for so long.
right, and it was fucking
Right.
amazing the job that they did
With
with
Thousand
Thousand
Year
Year
Blood
Blood.
War. God, it's
Yeah,
so
so
good.
that might be the most underrated series. Shit. But anyway,
It
it will be fun to watch and see, and
see the
I don't
differences in
right. And
now
I again,
did we confirm that it's a different studio?
yeah,
Okay.
it's a different studio for sure.
Okay. I feel like we've talked about it, but I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what studio they switched to, but I know for sure they switched.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
nice to see if they change up the animation style, if they update the animation, or if they kind of just for
because they got to chase
continuity.
something.
You would
It's got to
think.
be something.
You would think. You would think that they do.
At least now we'll know for sure. Now we'll know 100% what happens when
Mhm.
you completely change an anime studio.
Yep. I'd like to see it. See, I'm looking forward to that, and like even like one of the older ones that still need to finish up, Black Clover. Black Clover still needs to finish up,
Yeah.
and we're waiting on that. Supposedly there's some Hunter x Hunter news that came out. Like there's gonna be a new something in there. I gotta look that up. Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
But like, there's all these older because anime is hitting a nice little boom right now. There's
Mhm,
there's a lot of older animes out there that are super popular already, where they're
mhm.
like, "Yo, it's time. Let's bring it back." I think now's the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and for the Naruto universe to still be going, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean, Dragon Ball is still going.
yeah,
You know, they
yeah. Now I
don't let
got
the big
Dragon
ones
Ball
die.
Daima or whatever it is now.
Yeah,
Have you watched
and
any of
it's
that yet?
canon. I heard it's canon.
I've heard that too.
I haven't watched any of it. I don't have any interest in watching any of that. I still gotta catch up on like Vegeta going super or ego, whatever, super ego,
Oh,
the purple mode. Like I still haven't watched any. I don't think they've came out with the animations to that yet, but I know the mangas are releasing
yeah,
and all that shit went down. But
yeah.
I haven't.
It's
I know they're
man.
still just going, but even fight wise, I think I want to give Fire Force their flowers in regards to the animation job that they do on their fight scenes because I would argue they do better than MHA.
Like, as far as just the animation's
The
concerned
action,
or the actual action
the
that's occurring?
action,
And by action that's occurring, I mean there's actually action occurring.
action occurring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. I would agree. Their
and
fights
MHA is
are
what 20 times bigger.
fucking shit, man. Why would you break my heart like this?
Just letting you
You're
know.
bringing it up on purpose. You
I
know it
had to.
hurts me.
I had
You
to.
know it hurts me.
You said
The
it was your top three.
a long time ago. It's since dropped, all right? It's since
Episode
dropped.
one, you said that.
I don't remember saying that ever once in my entire life. Casper
You gotta pull
Cass
it up in
race.
on the screen. So my top three, that old ass video,
Yeah,
MHA.
yeah. But yeah, the fights are definitely a lot more action, a lot more fighting. They do sneak some talking in there, but like that's fine. You can talk during fights, it
As long as
happens.
you throw hands.
But is just keep throwing the hands, dude. We don't need everybody's backstory in the middle of every fight and
When
then just
Shinra
show 10 seconds of fighting.
and Shinra's like breakdancing when he fights. You
Yeah.
notice that?
Yeah, I have
That
actually.
motherfucker's out there moving,
Yeah, he's
just
spinning it.
twirling,
Yep.
like straight up b-boying.
Yep. That's what they
I'm
do,
like, how
baby
can you
boo.
not like this? And then
Yeah.
you got Arthur's, oh, I almost said the R word, but you got Arthur's dumbass fucking doing what he does.
Fucking riding the fucking where he puts it in there and it's Excalibur now.
Yeah.
The
When he had
Legend
to
of
do like reverse
Circumference.
psychology on him,
Yep.
like,
Where you had to
oh my
convince
god,
him that
uh,
like it's funny because
fucking
they've mentioned
Vulcan,
it
right?
before. Yeah. They've mentioned it before where they're like, yeah, he's always a stronger fighter when he
Mhm,
like gets super delusional.
mhm.
And that's a
Like, the
weird,
more delusional he gets,
yeah. So if you want him to fight good, he's got to become more crazy. Like that's fucked. You got
this
to
show is
feed
fucking
into his
funny,
delusions.
man.
You shouldn't do that at all. That's
Well,
a
and
real life person, dude.
the amount of consistency that each character in the show shows is fucking hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
every character in the show is very consistent with who they are.
Yeah, I agree with that.
At no point do they
Nope.
disappoint.
Nope. But yeah, it's about that time. Did you have anything you want to say before we close it out?
Um, no, I will say, having watched this back, I forgot a good portion of it,
Yeah.
and don't even remember how the last 8 played out in regards to this, but it was refreshing to hear, the whole mystery behind the religion, and whether or not it was real, and
Right.
who was the one who switched it up, and how they're gonna kind of share it with the public. So
Well, it's
that
crazy.
that's one thing to
I
look
think
out for.
because I also like I forgot something. I've watched it 5 or 6 times over, and even me watching it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this happens then. This happens then." I think just because they cram you with so much shit that it
Yeah,
makes it easier to not
to
like
figure it.
fully take everything in. Because when you're done, you're like, oh, all right, this is great. Next episode, keep overwhelming me. And then next episode. And so I didn't remember this 8 and how they went. And then I don't remember the next 8 that we're going to watch to close out season 2. Uh,
Mhm.
but it's such a good show. God, guys, this is high on the recommendation list. This is
Yeah,
very high on
you
the
haven't watched
recommendation
Fire
list.
Force, you got to, and this is
Gots
honestly
to, man.
one
You gots
too
to.
where I would show someone who's just getting an anime
Yeah.
this anime.
Mm-hmm.
So again, definitely, we will be coming out with that last 8 before the new season 3 comes out.
Hopefully. That's the plan.
Um, but we're obviously gonna still switch it up. What do we got coming next week for sure? Solo leveling,
We might have solo leveling. We gotta look at the
because one
calendar and
more
the
is coming out.
schedule. Either one or two. I gotta do a count. I'm not sure which episode. Did you watch a new episode by the way today?
Not the one today, but I think the
Oh
one
man.
today is what will end up, because they're done now, right? This was the
Uh
last one.
no, I don't know for sure. This isn't the last episode. I know that. But I don't know if the
Okay.
next one's the last one or not. Either way, this episode was really fucking good. Really fucking good. So I suggest you get on that the second we get off this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
will.
But guys, we appreciate every single fucking one of you.
Yes, we
We
do.
appreciate you guys for riding for us. How many
Yes, we
how many
do.
subscribers do we have right now? Like
Still at about
790?
790. We've been
Yeah.
chilling about around there. Still
Slow
fucking,
growth is still growth,
still
baby.
awesome.
We
Still
appreciate every
amazing.
single fucking one of you. As always, like, subscribe, comment. Remember, a real friend tells a friend.
Indubitably, it's your boy, Blackie Chan.
All right. And the comedy Hashira, we out.
We out.